Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 11th. I hope you're up and at it in this beautiful summer morning and just out with the birds and the sunshine and just getting about your day. I'm hoping you spent some time with the Lord this morning, or you're catching a quick devotion in and just, He's been waiting for you all morning. So I hope you're there and talking to Him and just sharing the day in the morning, and He wants to tell you a whole lot today. So I wanted to continue our series in talking about our mouth and how we are talking. And so today's verse is this. It's in Proverbs 13:3. It says, "Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin." The New Living Translation says, "Those who control their tongue will have a long life. Opening your mouth can ruin everything." Well, yesterday we talked about the ruination of our own life with our own words, so we have to be mindful of that. Something I thought on the play on words is, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. Well, so I thought about a guard, even a bodyguard. Think about why we hire a bodyguard. Many times the Secret Service who protect the government, or they'll have a bodyguard for heads of state or the Pope or king or queen or just diplomats. And why they do that is for protection. It's from harassment or assault or kidnapping even, or assassination. Well, if God calls us to guard our mouth like that, like a guard that guards another human being, what is it that we should be doing? What is the action that we should be doing to take this proverb really seriously? Because remember, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. So if you're not guarding your mouth, what's the opposite of that? Well, you're not preserving your life. It means you're bringing death to your life. Remember, blessings and cursings come out of the same mouth. So are you bringing life to your body, into your mind, into your emotions? Are you bringing death? I wanted to talk about how we can save and guard ourselves and protect ourselves on what we say and who and what we say to others. I came across this great quote the other day, and it says this: "Every person you come in contact is either a demolition site or a construction site or construction opportunity. What will you do with them?" And I thought that was really interesting, because we have the ability to destroy, demolish, tear down. Just think about a big wrecking ball or a big track hoe that goes in, and there's lots of buildings being torn down around where we live. Just watching them come in and just disintegrate every block and turn into dust and cinder. Or there's also construction once they tear that down. Or are you the person who's building up? Are you doing that with yourself? Are you doing that with your family, your spouse, your children? Are you a demolition tool, so to speak? Are you being used as a construction tool? Like, that one really hit me hard, because every person you come in contact with, you have the opportunity to make them a demolition site or a construction site. And I thought that was huge, because we're either building up or we're tearing down. There's a verse in Ephesians that says, "Let every word that comes out of your mouth be like a gift that's uplifting and edifying." So every word that comes out, could you present it to somebody as a gift? If not, you want to rethink that, because if you're not guarding your mouth, if you're not guarding your words, remember, this can bring ruin to you and to the person you're talking to. James 3:2 says, "For if we could control our tongues, we would be perfect and could also control ourselves in every other way." How many of you would like to have a perfect life? I know I would love to. Now, we live in a fallen world, so we know that's not true, that we could ever obtain. But I do think we can have a better life, and we can have a perfect way of living, so to speak, if we guard against the evils of what the enemy would have us say. And we talked about yesterday in our mind, and what comes out of our heart, it comes out of our mouth. If we would set a guard, so let's pretend you now have become the bodyguard to your mouth. What would you do? Pretend you were, protecting Donald Trump or Queen Elizabeth or whomever. What would your job be? Well, it would be to be focused on them. It would be to be alert. You would have to be mindful of everything that's going around. Who's coming in contact with you? Who's behind you? Who's beside you? Who's in front of you? Their job also is to keep calm in times of calamity. Their time is they're calm when things are under pressure. They're confident. They're observant, but they're also discreet. So if you were to become the bodyguard to whom is to watch your mouth, what would you look like? So I titled this today, "You Need to Hire a Bodyguard." Maybe you need to hire a bodyguard for your mouth, just because of Proverbs 13:3 that says, "Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life." A bodyguard is just for that, is to preserve the life of a dignitary. Well, you're important to God, but remember this, your mouth is the powerful tool that can sever, that can cut straight to someone's bone, that can start a fire, that can spark an inferno, that can burn down an entire forest that was once green. You can set a field ablaze. You can set a family ablaze. You can, like we talked about yesterday, there's children that have committed suicide. We've seen several in the past few years, in middle school, even in elementary school and high school, just because of somebody that put something on social media and they're being harassed. Would you be willing to be the bodyguard of your mouth? What does that look like? Do a word study on what a bodyguard does. I've done that for you guys this morning. They're to protect. They're to keep safe. You know, those guys, men and women, vow to allow their life to be taken before a president will get hit. We saw when Ronald Reagan was shot, his bodyguard stepped in front of just to take the bullet. Would you be willing to step in front of your mouth? Would you be willing to control your tongue, no matter how bad it wants to lash out at somebody, no matter how bad you feel like it's a good thing to say, no matter how deserving the other person is to have it given back? I mean, that's the true test, is control. Think about a bodyguard. He is in control when he's riding in that car, when he's walking next to a car, when he's protecting his dignitary. He is always in control of himself. I'm sure, as it looks like they're not doing much other than listening in their ear and talking in their arm, they are in complete control. It's kind of like the sniper we talked about a couple, I think, months ago, that we talked about those that are on watch. They're doing more oftentimes than we are in a full day work, because their insides are constantly on command. They're watching, they're controlling, they're listening, they're watching, they're looking ahead, they're looking behind. You need to be that with your mouth, and be mindful of, remember, you are coming in contact with people all day long, even if it's on social media. Maybe you're not having a verbal conversation, maybe it's by text. And I know sometimes text can be deceiving. You can say something and somebody can take it defensively or offensively, and you didn't mean it that way. Be mindful how you speak, how you put out your words to somebody, because remember, they either become a demolition site or a construction site. You're either tearing them down or building them up, no matter what you're saying. So remember your tone of voice, how you deliver, how you say something, just your facial expressions. You know, maybe it's with a smile. You can say hello with a smile, or you can say hello with a frown, and you know how that person feels when they come in contact with you. I have people I've come in contact with and said, "Hi, how are you?" and they barely can get out the word hi, or their eyes are down, they're looking the other way, or sometimes they don't even speak. It's like, I know they don't want to talk to me, but here's the thing. I want to be able to live a life without regret, and I want to be able to know that when I die someday, that I lived a life building up others. I left my fingerprint, or my mark, so to speak, on this world a better place because I treated people well. Would you be willing to be the bodyguard of your mouth today? Proverbs 13:3. Let me read it one more time. Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. That word ruin we talked about yesterday. Remember, it's the physical destruction or disintegration of something, or the state of disintegrating or being destroyed. Do you really want to be responsible for ruining your own life because of your tongue? So be mindful how you're talking today to each other. Remember, speak out as though things were. Speak out the word of God. Do your I am statements. Confess the word of God. Remember, I talked about yesterday, you are blessed and highly favored. Those things you can speak to one another. And you are blessed, because if you're a child of God, you've got everything going for you, because greater is he who's in you than he who's in the world. So even if you're having a really bad time in life right now, or times are tough, you can find it, try to find within you just to speak something positive about yourself to those around you, and you will be amazed how much encouragement that can just bring to your soul. Remember, we talked yesterday that you can either talk yourself into an encouraging state of mind or a depressing state of mind, but it's up to you. So I want to encourage you all today to just be mindful of your words, watch your mouth, become your own bodyguard for your mouth, because remember, it is a weapon in the hands of the enemy, and it's something that's hard to tame, no matter how much control you think you have. It is something that God says many times in the Bible. Remember, 100 verses in the Bible just about your mouth and tongue, that it is a powerful weapon, but it also can be a powerful tool as well to build up. So I wanted to encourage y'all today on this Wednesday. It's halfway through the week. Those of you who are working, you're almost to Friday, halfway there. So enjoy the sunshine, spend some time with the Lord today. Hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.